Did you know that when you see Muslims that are operating in a very sort of fear, shame, and control, and they're constantly projecting that onto others, and every single conversation that you have is this is haram and that is haram, and you'll burn in for this and fear Allah and fear Allah, sister. Oh, so almost like God is the some abusive boss that is watching every move, and the vibe is very very heavy, right? Now I want you to understand that you have spiritual teachers, some of the spiritual masters in Islam and modern consciousness research would agree on the same thing. People like that are stuck at the sort of earliest station. Now you have someone like Dr. R. Hawkins who spent over 20 years and he basically tested more than 250,000 people and tested sort of their human state through, say, muscle testing and brain to heart coherence. And what he did is that he created a consciousness scale from 0 to 1,000. Okay. Now, fear, it sits at, say, a level at 100. Now, that is considered low vibrational state, which is sort of survival mode and ego preservation. And you see this in spiritual teaching in Islam, which is khawf. So the fear of Allah is the sort of the beginner level, right? As Imam Ghazali would talk about, rahimullah, is that, yeah, fear does discipline the nafs, but it's not where you're supposed to stay at forever. It's a beginner level, but that is the early level, right? You are constantly to evolve. Now, what's fascinating is Dr. R. Hawkins talks about the same thing where he says your perception of Allah, your perception of God, essentially determines also your mental, physical, and your perception of others and of the world as well. Now, what is really, really amazing is for example, let's say that if you view your subconscious mind, because if you ask me beforehand, how do you view Allah? I'll say, oh, most loving, most kind, most compassionate. Whoa, damn. But the truth is, I said that because I was afraid. I was like, hey, Allah, I was like, don't put me in hell. Don't put me in hell if I say what I truly feel. But truth be told, at that particular point, I was perceiving Allah as very, very punishing constantly. That was my nervous system, and that was because of all that trauma I experienced, and it was also a lot of the brainwashing that I experienced when I was actually growing up. And he noticed the same thing, which is that people that operate in this fearful state, well, they also view Allah as, very punishing. Whereas when your nervous system perceives Allah truly as love, right? When you operate in those higher vibrational state, that is when you also, your state, your inner state, how you perceive the world, how you treat others, also move to a state of love, right? And higher levels like, God is everywhere, which is sort of that in